those fucking pussies. Sorry. Welcome to the live stream. Let's check in. How you doing? How's life going in fascist America? You all right? You holding it down? You ready for fight? To fight for your country? Maybe. No. Maybe you like fascism. Maybe you're one of those folks. It's okay. The boot will be on your neck soon. Welcome. I'm Rob. And this is what I have to say. ICE has taken Robbie Road steamer for a second time. These brown shirt bootlicking absolute Gestapo tactic worthless turds of human peoples are raining hell on our streets. Isn't it interesting? They all kind of look like this dude, ICE, you know? You can read what you want up here, but this post on Reddit I saw, and I thought, this is very interesting. All these dudes look like ICE. All these masks infringe on my First Amendment. You know all those dudes? Hey ho, good. Hey, what's up, Kevin Hawthorne? Good to see you, buddy. How you doing? How's South? How's the South treating you? Is it all right? Staying warm? I heard it's been chilly down in Florida. I hope it warms up for you. Good to see you. Good to have you here, Kevin. Burnfried. What's up, Burnfried? Hey ho. And we're gonna get into a bunch of news. But I just thought it was interesting that once they started this whole ICE capade around the country, you don't see too many of these Proud Boys marching around. You know what I mean? You don't see these Proud Boys marching, do you? Pink Fur, what's up? Good to see you, Pink Fur. Good to see you. How you been? Is everything well? I hope so. I hope everybody, wherever you be holding it down. Because these are trying times. You know, we got a fascist mafia, a fascist wannabe mafia boss in the White House who's like it's like if you had one of them jumbo see-through trash bags and just filled it with a bunch of McDonald's and let it sit in the sun for 14 weeks. You know, that's what that dude looks like, a gelatinous blob right now. And he's just temper tantruming around. He's like, give me that Nobel Prize. How does he talk? I don't even care to do his accent or his PDF file fucking impression anymore. Fuck him. The best day is going to be reading that big, beautiful obituary of his. I'll tell you that. That's going to be a great day. You want to know why? Because the second that dude's 6 feet under, nobody's going to give a fuck about him. All these little fucking rats are going to scatter off ship. They're all going to be like, I wasn't MAGA. I'm going to Argentina. Maybe they'll go to Venezuela. And we're going to take his name off everything. You know? I say we confiscate his assets and we turn the Trump Tower into the Obama Tower. Just for shits and giggles. You like that, MAGA? Kevin, it will be raining while it is cold between Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah, but come on, Kevin, you know the Florida rain is like for a half hour, right? Unless you're getting hit by a big one, but I hope not. Yeah, no, my brother's down in Florida, and he was telling me it's chilly. And I said, oh, really? What's the temperature? I said, because the wind chill is 13. Actually, it's going to be nice and warm up here this week. We're talking about a nice brisk 44 degrees. Awesome. Slarson, there's 2,000 ICE in Minnesota and 10,000 lakes. So, Slarson, I like what you're just saying. I think I'm picking up on your math. You know, I think I'm picking up on it. Good to have you here, Larson. Pink Fur. Okay, I guess. These are tough times. Listen, Pink Fur, here's the thing. If you're checked out, you don't read the news, okay. I'll bring it to you. I'll tell you what's going on. But Hold on. Who's to to to? Is that how you pronounce your name? To he's going for the mobile priest prize. Can Exxon Mobil give him a peace prize? That would be. I love the chat today. I don't even know how many people are here. I can't see any numbers, but let me just say, this is my favorite chat I've had since doing a live stream. And hey, to all the family members who are subscribed, that's not an insult. I'm saying right now it's fucking fire. And I got a bad memory, so we could have had a great one before. But TLLT, I don't know how you pronounce that. There are no vowels. It's just a I think that's how I do. It says Trump's going for the Mobile Peace Prize. The Exxon Mobil Peace Prize, brought to you by Chevron, BP, and oil spills in every ocean. Guaranteed at some point. That's what they should do. They should just give Donald Trump, they should make another fake peace prize. And they should give it to him in Venezuela. Did you guys see that he claimed he's the president of Venezuela? He tried to update. Look, so Trump posts that he's, quote, acting president of Venezuela. And he tried to put this on Wikipedia. I'm like, do we think we could get him to fucking go there? You guys think what I'm thinking, right? Like, yeah, buddy, you're Venezuela's president now. You should go and take care of Venezuela. You should just go. Take Stephen Miller, just get the fuck out. Who knows? He's got dementia. I think if we got enough people surrounding him, just being like, sir, how is it being president of Venezuela? We could probably trick him into going, What does he know anyways? He'd think he's at Mar-a-Lago. You think he's not hiring immigrants? Come on, give me a break. Fucking guy. All right. Good looking group of men in the background. Are you talking about the Proud Boys? What a name for a bunch of fucking losers that hide their faces. How many countries can he fix? 0. He hasn't fixed America, and then he absolutely is fucking up Venezuela. He doesn't fix countries. You know what he does? He fixes the Epstein files to hide his name. That's what he does. It's the only thing he's fixed. Hate to break it to you. BCJ, he definitely fixes his pockets. Pink fur, facts. And he fixes for his rich friends, 100%. He's worse than a felon. He's a pedophile. He's worse than a felon. Like, if they put him in prison and people saw him, this is probably why they didn't put him in prison. Because they went, oh, shit, he's all over the Epstein files. He goes to prison. He's getting got. They don't like people like that in prison. So, Henry Bermudez. Bermudez, $5. Thank you for the super chat, man. Nice going. Keep up with your good work. Appreciate you. Henry, I haven't seen you before, but I hope you come back. I hope you hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and join us again. He's not lasting 28. Hell no. I love these maggots. MAGATS. I love the maggots that come in here and go, I love Trump 2028. And then they realize, oh, the dude's going to be what, 80 fucking 8? What are we going to be having Smucker's birthdays on fucking CBS mornings for him? Give me a break. The dude's probably shitting his pants right now as we speak. This guy ain't lasting that long. Hate to break it to you. They got this guy juiced on drugs just to fucking go in front of you and be like, I need a peace prize. I'm president of Venezuela. And they were like, hide him behind the fucking carpets. Hide him, hide him, hide him. That's why you're not seeing him that much. And when you do see him, just look at this picture of him. He doesn't look like this anymore. This dude is 80 years old. Okay? And for all the maggots, this is what I was getting at. All the maggots who are like, I can't vote for Joe Biden. He's so old and senile. Have you heard him speak lately? I'm not kidding. He can say like 5-word sentences. And that's it. And then he can repeat himself. The dude has absolutely no marbles left out of the like one he did have. Is ICE the Proud Boys? Hey, listen, this is what we're trying to figure out. Somebody on Reddit pointed out that ever since ICE raids started happening on large scales, all of the right-wing groups, like the Proud Boys, 3%ers, have magically disappeared. It's almost like they're the same people. And by the looks of these, These fucking these Abercrombie outcasts. We're gonna get to Abercrombie later. You'll understand why it's funny now, or then. But we're gonna get to a big story about Abercrombie, the old CEO Mike Jeffs. He's going to be he's mentally fit enough to stand trial for sex trafficking. So we're going to talk about that. But these guys look like a bunch of Abercrombie outcasts. This looks like the waiting room. You know, they're like, "Oh, I got my new Abercrombie shirt. I'm gonna be the poster boy for this." And then you're like, "Hey, sir, could you pull down the mask?" And they're like, First Amendment, HIPAA. I gotta wear a mask, HIPAA. Or are you wearing a mask because, like, you know, all the racist, hateful, bigoted, loser cowards before you wore masks? Why do you think the KKK wore masks? Because nobody wanted to, you know, they didn't want anybody to know that they were the cops during the day. You don't believe me? Go read K. Robert K. Williams or Robert F. Williams. Go read his book, Negroes with Guns. Robert Williams, an amazing human from the Carolinas, exiled to Cuba, and he stood against the KKK, who was the police in his town. And all he was trying to do was desegregate the pools. And these motherfuckers were not only wearing masks at nighttime to terrorize them, but during the day, they were the police. This is America. Understand it so you know what's going on right now. Thank you, tree hugging hippie. I love trees. You don't like breathing? I love how these Proud Boy loser fucking wannabes, you know, that's all this is. You know, no girl except for this one would touch these guys' peepees. So they all had to form a group, a very angry group, talking about white culture. And I'm like, where is Whiteland? There isn't even a fucking country. We have a Greenland? What other color lens do we have? I think there's just Greenland. There's no white land. And if you go far back enough, some of these motherfuckers are looking a little dark. You know, he might look Italian. He wasn't white at one point. Like, it's stupid. It's so fucking dumb. And all it is a bunch of losers need to feel comfortable, so they join up in a group and then they put on masks and go, we're going to bully the others. Let's bully the people without the numbers. You know, these, don't ever be like these frauds. Look at this dude. That, I can just see by the fucking chunk of his face, he ain't a white dude. It's amazing to watch people of color, marginalized people, join up and take place in the structure of white supremacy. It's horrific. Like, guys, here's the thing, gentlemen, let me speak to you for a moment, okay? Ladies, take a break, go do what you want. You ain't causing too much shit. Gentlemen, if you're insecure, if you're vulnerable, that's okay. Go see a therapist. Talk about it. Maybe go out, put yourself out there, fellas. Really, I mean it. It's going to do you some good. And not put yourself out there like 300 people, man. 300 people, and they're all going, I can't hear you. Hold on, let me see. BCJ. You hear me now? Oh man, that's funny as hell though. I'll tell you what, I never seen. I hear you loud and clear. All right, but now can you hear me? BCJ. I'm only trusting you, so I'm gonna wait. I don't give a what none of y'all say. I'm going to wait for BCJ to let me know. I just think it's funny as hell that there's been quite a few people just just rabidly hating me while I'm on mute. Hold on, BCJ. I hate Trump supporters. Oh no, BCJ. I was asking you if you can hear me now. Because if I got to call Donald Trump Chief Queef, I want to make sure that they can hear before we get into the news. The news. Okay, BC, you can hear me. As long as you can hear me, we're good. And who is that? Oda Varley. I don't know how to pronounce that. I am so sorry. My apologies for mangling that name. All right, let's get into some news. And for the people who are here to, comment on the news and have some dialogue, just ignore MAGA. Remember who they support. They're like so proud of this guy's friendship with him. And they all know that, again, he's all over the Epstein files. Like they are well aware. And they went from demanding the release of the Epstein files to let's protect our king, our queen. Let's protect our queen, Fat Trump, from being exposed as the child's graper he is. So just remember, just ignore those people. Never in your life, here's some life advice, okay, for all the young heads out there. If there's ever anybody who's like a predator towards kids, don't fucking take advice from them. I would back the fuck up and I would distance yourself from them because they're not going to go anywhere good that you want to go. You don't want to know what they do with their money. You know what I mean? That's life advice. You see a guy like this hanging out with a guy like that, you say, wrong room, sir. I'm sorry. I'm out of here. I don't want to know. Now, Robbie Rhodes Steamer, a close friend of mine, an activist, an artist. I told him one of the last times we talked, I said, you were like, what's the dude, Man on the Moon? Andy something? Andy Kaufman, thank you. I said, he's like an Andy Kaufman meets Abby Hoffman. Andy Kaufman meets Abby Hoffman. For anybody who likes comedy and activism, I would hope you know who Andy Kaufman, Abby Hoffman are. Abby Hoffman, Worcester native, Massachusetts. He once tried to levitate the Pentagon. If you didn't know that, yes, he did. Abby Hoffman led multiple activist fronts through the late 60s, early 70s, even into the 80s. Abby Hoffman is one of my legends, somebody who I seriously look up to. Unfortunately, he left this mortal coil, I think it was in 89. But a great soul. Sacha Baron Cohen played him in the Chicago 7, Trial of Chicago 7 on Netflix. I think that was the title of the movie. But if you get a chance, read any of Abby Hoffman's books. Steal this book, Revolution for the Hell of It. There's more. I have them over there. So huge activist, and activist in before there was TikTok, before there was algorithms and stuff, when it was just TV interviews or word of mouth or fanzines or flyers or meetups or, payphones, whatever. Abby Hoffman was super creative in the way he took to his activism. And that's why I mentioned one of his protests was he gathered all the hippies, which Abbie Hoffman was the founder of the Yippie movement. And he gathered all the hippies and they went and sat around the Pentagon and tried to levitate it with their mind. Whatever you want to think about that, you can. But the fact that he got news coverage for it and was huge and put him, you know, even more on the map than he already was. And he had a lot of important activist history, recent history, I should say. So get a chance, look up Abbie Hoffman. Andy Kaufman, absurdist comic. I'm sure you know Andy Kaufman. And Robbie Roadsteamer, good friend of mine. I got him back on Boston radio when I was on the radio. I think he had been banned or I don't know. But I was like, I'm not getting off air unless I have Robbie on. And he came on. We got to hang out. We've been friends ever since. And he's touring the country. You've seen him. He's the guy in the giraffe costume. There's my buddy, Robbie Roadsteamer. Absolute hero. The true embodiment of America right here. This is the true embodiment of America. Exercising his First Amendment and doing it for the people. You know, he's doing this against tyranny, against oppression. Robbie is a fucking legend. Keep respect on his name. And he was already arrested once, shot at with pepper balls by ICE. And right before coming on the live stream, I crack open my news feed and I see this.
All right, the not ready for primetime players. You got your super soakers. You got your fucking baloney. Where are we going? We want us over here? Oh, we got the power march. What are we doing here? What?
Robbie Roadsteamer. And I know this is small news, but this is one of my friends. Robbie Roadsteamer was exercising his right to protest peacefully, exercising his First Amendment peacefully, standing in the middle of a street peacefully, and these cops and these fucking swine and these absolute bootlicking fascist scum took my friend into custody again. Free Robbie Roadsteamer. Throw it in the chat. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Karen. Free Robbie. Free Robbie. You keep some respect on my friend's name, or I'll make sure you never come back in this. Vincent. Vincent. What are you, in fucking 1982 calling someone gay? What is wrong with you, Vincent? You understand that says more about you than it does anybody else. It says that's what you're scared of. That's what you're scared to be called, man. If that's your natural reaction to telling you, my friend just got kidnapped by a fascist fucking regime, and that's your reply? Good God, no wonder there's so many incels joining Proud Boys lately. You are a sad, pathetic group of boys. You don't care about freedom, don't care about liberty, don't care about others, don't care about community. You're certainly anti-American. And this is your reaction when fascism has boots on the ground in Minnesota. My friend goes out there to peacefully sing at them. Again, he's dressed as Jeffrey the giraffe. If you don't know the reference, let me show you the photo. There's Jeffrey, you know, Trump's friend, and he's Jeffrey the giraffe, in case you didn't get the reference. But my God, I'll play the rest of the video. There's three dudes slamming my buddy on the ground. My buddy's almost 50 years old. And listen, God bless him. He tours this country. He's got more energy than I do, but have some respect, you know? These are American citizens. The Gestapo, the Mecha Hitler, the Mick, that's what it is. He's a Mick Hitler, like a McDonald's. He's a Mick Hitler. Like the Mick Hitler, you know, the orange Mick Hitler. Is sending his private police force, his private military, to beat up on Americans. Anything other than that's not cool is anti-American. These people are protesting against a fascist private fucking military force occupying American soil. 1, 2, 3, 4 people. And they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 looking Proud Boy motherfuckers blocking him so nobody can get to him. This is despicable. America, I'm very disappointed in you at this point. I don't think we're going to get to have America anymore, folks. I mean, if this is how it's going.
Leave the giraffe alone! Let him go! Free Robbie! Free Robbie! Free Robbie! Free Robbie!
They took him away. I haven't been able to find out any free Robbie. Free Robbie, yeah. I'd love to see it. I have not been able to find out any other information about this. The only thing, and I reference this website often on here, is the Hindustan Times. Ironically, or not ironically, but comedically, the Hindustan Times has more like accurate news than and more breaking than most of corporate America. Or slow Rogan. God, Joe Rogan is such a fucking tool. I feel bad for kids that like him. You know, they clearly did not have parents in the home. They must have been raised by like squirrels or something. You know, they're like watching Joe Rogan and them running out back, digging a hole and putting a nut in it because they're fucking nuts. And then JD Vance, you know him, the guy who can't trust around you, pull out. He said this.
Thanks for taking my question. So the head of Minnesota's investigations agency says that the U.S. Attorney's Office has essentially cut off the state investigations agency's access to the investigation. What is the precedent for that, and why shouldn't the Minnesota officials on the ground have access and evidence to work on this investigation?
First of all, I wish the state officials in Minnesota would investigate why you have so many people who are using their vehicles and other means to actually interfere with a legitimate law enforcement operation. The precedent here is very simple. You have a federal law enforcement official engaging in federal law enforcement action. That's a federal issue. That guy is protected by absolute immunity. He was doing his job.
Do you know what he means when he says absolute immunity? Do you get the weight of what he just said? Whatever he's doing, this is what JD, I'll sleep on your couch. I'll sleep on your couch. JD Vance, old couch fucker, is saying. He's saying, we're sending our guys. It's adorable, isn't it? To do a job. And anyone who gets in the way with that job. Notice how he wasn't very clear on what the job was, because it seems like they're harassing more Americans than they are anyone else, is in the wrong. And J.D. Vance and Don McHitler's Trump, Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, whatever or whoever gets in the way of their guys doing their job has to suffer the consequences, and their guys get absolute immunity. Absolute no accountability. They can do whatever they want. There's no law, there's no order for them. MAGA, I use those two words specifically for you because remember last year you guys were chirping a lot about being the party of law and order. You know, crooked Hillary, sleepy Biden, you know, communist Kamala. I only wish. It'd be fucking rad if she was a communist. I know a lot of you, what are you, 25? White male, scared of the word communism, never bothered to look it up. The irony of that, though, is most of these Christians that are scared of communism, if they just knew communism is a classless, stateless society. It sounds a lot like heaven, guys. You should look it up. But J.D. Vance is vouching for his criminals in the streets to do whatever they want to you. And you might go, well, not me, I'm white. So is Renee Good. Or you might go, not me, I'm in a red state. Just wait till he's done with the blue ones. You think you're safe? What protects you? Nothing. As a better memer than I did, somebody put this together. So just remember that. Now, there's some other news. I really wanted to start off with Robbie Roadsteamer because that breaks my heart that, again, one of our greatest in a generation activists. If you don't know Robbie Roadsteamer, he is playing the role of Jeffrey Epstein the giraffe. Jeffrey Epstein the giraffe. If you don't know who Jeffrey Epstein is, that's Donald Trump's best friend, where Donald Trump brought his young daughter around a man who is known to F them. Good company, right? Birds of a feather? Yep. Okay, MAGA, we know what you support now. So I really wanted to point that out, that Robbie has been taken by ICE again. I do not know any updates. If I get any, I will let you know, and I will reach out to him when he's out, because I'm sure his phone is taken. He's an American citizen, folks. He was singing in the middle of the street. I just played the video for you, and those ICE bootlicking Gestapo fascist freak fucking Nazis took my friend. So ICE, go fuck yourself. Long walk, short pier, as we say around the coast. I know you in the middle of the country don't understand that, but that's okay. That's okay. Now, listen, you might have heard Donald Trump and Republicans start talking about a 10% cap on, what was it, credit cards or some shit. I don't know. I don't pay attention because I don't listen to Donald Trump. You know, he just barks a lot. He's like, I want a peace prize. I want a peace prize. Let me invade Venezuela. Give me a peace prize. Invade Venezuela. Break international law. Threaten our allies. Continue the American imperialist colonial empire as much as Stephen Miller demands. So, I mean, I don't really take him serious. I think he's a joke, just like the rest of the world. He's just a dangerous joke. But I did have overhearings, ramblings of he's going to cap credit card interest at 10%. And I just wanted to point out to you guys that he's not doing that. Bernie Sanders introduced this bill in 2025 with AOC. Your Democrat socialists, that's a reference to Valenti VODs. Shout out to Valenti VODs. Link in the description. Go check them out. Another socialist comrade streamer. But guys, the things that Donald Trump's trying to do, this fake populism, this fake like, oh, you know, we want to do the popular things that people like, you know, or wait, MAGA, hold on. Before I say this is a popular thing, MAGA, do you like paying 30% credit card interest rates? I guess if Donald Trump came out tonight and said everybody should love paying 30% on interest for your credit cards, MAGA would be like, I love it. Give me 40%. Raw. I want to pay fucking so much on my eggs that I have to buy now, pay later. You know, because they're just idiots. They can't think for themselves. And then you just say woke left communist, and they're like, oh my God, what's happening? You know, they're fucking pussies. So before you start cheering this on, just know this was the socialists in our Congress that were pushing this forward, Bernie Sanders, and Donald Trump's just going to try to take credit for it. I even heard ramblings that the 10% was just for a year and then it would go back up to 30. Just like, you know, the no tax on tips, it wasn't a permanent thing. It's not even fucking real anyways. Who gives a shit about that? If you really wanted to help the working class, you raise the federal minimum wage. Do that like that. He doesn't give a shit about you. He gave you a little bait. He went like this. Donald Trump said, oh, you want no tax on tips? And you were like, well, I don't really make tips, but that's cool. That's for workers, right? Because you're stupid. Because that's a 4-year fucking tax credit. But the permanent one that he gave to corporations and all his rich friends is a permanent one. You know what permanent means? That means forever. Until a socialist get back in charge or get in charge. We've never had a socialist. I mean, was it Eugene Debs, right? He ran from prison as a socialist for president. But I don't think since then. Closest thing we've had is a Bernie Sanders. So when the socialists take over, we will be eliminating credit card scores. We're just going to eradicate it. You know, those were created in the 80s, right? No other country has them. Like, this is a uniquely American thing. Uniquely American. It's all horseshit, folks, and we don't have to live by these rules. I know you put yourself in a box and you think, I got to live by these rules. Credit cards, credit scores. I have to. It's all make-believe. You know, Capital One said so. And I say, fuck you, Capital One. Guess what? We, the people, are taking over. And we're coming for you guys first. We're going to, you know, get out of here. You said if we tax you too much, you'd leave. 100% tax on everything. Goodbye. So, just wanted to remind everybody that when Donald Trump starts barking, just remember it's AOC and Bernard Sanders. Put some respect on his name. Did you see Jeffrey Epstein's best friend threaten, what's his name? Jerome. Can we just take a little side break from the news for a second? If I showed you this old man, didn't tell you his name, would you guess it was Jerome? Not in a fucking million years. I'm sorry. He looks like a Craig or a butthole? I don't know. Looks like Keebler? Keebler. Keebler Powell. I think he looks like a Keebler. That's what it is. You know, he's not a Jerome. I'm sorry. So I don't know if you guys seen this. I don't even want to play it. I don't even give a shit. This is how your fascist state runs. Just so you know, the story about Jerome Powell is he's refusing to budge on moving the interest rates. Donald Trump wants that mostly so, you know, his rich friends can borrow at no fucking cost. It's so incredible. It's so weird to watch the greediest people still be greedy. Like, you know, this should be, what is that book? The DM5 or something, where they have all the mental illnesses? Greed should be at like the top of those mental illnesses, because that's what's happening in America. Greed is rotting away, not only the soul, the democracy, the liberty, and the freedom of our country, but it's also like making people stupid, you know, because if you have $1 million, a fucking percentage on a interest rate is going to make or break you. Like, it's just greed. It's just greed. It's the same thing why these CEOs will pay themselves $100 million for a year, and they'll pay their employees so little that their employees are working 4 jobs. You know what I mean? It's just greed. It's an illness. Jesus talks about it. Oh, that's right. There's a lot of Christian nationalists in America. Christian nationalists, you know how you're fake fucking Christians? You are phonies. You are bullshit. Jesus condemns you all, and you're all going to burn in hell if that's what you believe in. All of you Christian nationalists will burn in hell. Mark my words. I'll fucking see you there. Okay? And I'd be glad to just sit and watch you burn. You Christian nationalist pieces of shit. Using my Lord and Savior's name for your dirty work is bad stuff. And Jesus warns of greed. Jesus was a radical anti-establishment socialist who was killed by the state and never charged a copay. Isn't that weird? He never, when he was handing out SNAP, you know, because Jesus handed out SNAP, he just called it 3 loaves and 5 fish. Or was it 5 loaves and 3 fish? I think it was 3 loaves and 5 fish. But it was SNAP. Jesus was giving SNAP out back in the fucking biblical days. And you know what he didn't do? He didn't go to his disciples. He didn't go, guys, I need you to line everybody up and ask them how many hours they worked this week. Because whoever didn't work 40 is not getting a loaf. You know? He didn't do that. But this shit, man, we're going to move on from this because this is just a crime boss extorting a dude to drop the interest rates because the greedy need more money. You know, they need more. They need to buy all the neighborhoods in America, turn everything into a rental market. You'll rent your Netflix, you'll rent your Spotify, you'll rent your home. Soon you'll rent your food, then you'll rent your water. Are you ready for all this? The water wars are coming. You don't think Nestle's fucking bundling up? You don't think Nestle's watching what Donald Trump's doing right now going, this is how the water wars are going to play out. We're going to start building a private army. But because he wouldn't drop the interest rates, Donald Trump put an investigation on him. Like undue stress that an old man doesn't need to kind of threaten him. You know what I mean? It's like a veiled threat. It's like, hey, if you're not going to play ball, maybe we'll just look into your whole history. It's very mafia-esque. It's nothing to do with what's good for the people. It's nothing to do with what's good for our country. It's nothing to do what the people want. You know, I know the trolls in the comments might be like, oh, we want. No, shut up. We don't trust you. Remember, I established this at the beginning of the live stream. Once you said you vouch for Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, I stop listening. I'm sorry, I don't take any advice from people who are like, no, don't release the files. I'm pretty sure Donald Trump did some bad stuff, and I got to protect my guy. As soon as you start acting like that, I go, I'm sorry. See you later. See you later. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Hold on my back. Ignorance is strength. Orwell. The left goes hard with this one. Oh, do we? By the way, I do want to thank MAGA for, being so stupid to light up my comments. You guys get me a lot of views. I appreciate it, MAGA. I'm not going to read any of your comments again because I don't take advice or fucking anything from people who support Jeffrey Epstein's best friend. But I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. Blow this channel up. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. I'm here every single weekday. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. All right, we got to get to some news. See, I didn't even get to the news. I just got to like the stuff that Trump admits he's a fascist. He admitted it. That's the other scary thing. Let's here's the I don't even want to talk about it. It's fucking dumb. Look at this. Bernard Sanders. ICE, Trump's domestic army, is now attempting to occupy Minneapolis. Let's be clear, this is a Trump authoritarian power grab, open attempt to suppress dissent and heighten conflict after ICE shot and killed a mother of three in broad daylight. And this is what ICE is doing. Totaled the car, abducted a woman, then left the scene. Law and order, right? MAGA? Is that what you're for? Law and order? Leaving the scene of a crime? Awesome. You guys are fucking fruits. Bunch of fruits. No spine. Fruits don't have spines. You have no spine. Let's see. Trump's lawsuits his entire life, 4,095. Trump's lawsuits against someone calling him a pedophile. 0. Oh, interesting. I wonder why that is. Probably because, he can't hide the Epstein files forever. Now, here it is. I linked this article down below, and when I pulled it up, they did the goddamn want to stay informed, want to continue reading, subscribe for free, and get essential updates. And I'm like, listen, Democracy Docket, I like your outlet, okay? I really do. I like it. I like the work you're doing here. But I'm not giving you my email, motherfuckers. I hate these paywall bullshit things. So I did grab a screenshot. But Donald Trump, and if you want to, read the article, you can. Because I would have liked to read this whole article to you, but now we're just gonna cliff note. Trump said, quote, I should have seized ballots in 2020 election. This is fascism, folks. For all you moron maggots, M-A-G-A-T-S, who go, you don't even know what fascism is. Okay, go watch some fucking documentaries about Mussolini and you'll learn all about it. It's really easy. They're free. They're on YouTube. They're kind of funny because Mussolini thought he was a character, shirtless, broad barrel-chested dude, thought he was the best, then broke up the unions, the socialists, and basically turned neighbors against neighbors, that kind of shit. So I get why Mussolini was the charismatic fascist leader of Italy. I understand it. I really do. Because if you see any videos of Mussolini, you're like, is this going to cut to a black and white Charlie Chaplin movie? Like, this guy's kind of funny, And then you realize, oh shit, he's a tyrant. And it's not funny anymore. I just don't understand why you bootlickers love this PDF file so much. Like, he's best friends with Jeff Epstein. Last year, you guys hated Jeff Epstein. Remember Dan Bajina in his podcast and Cash App Patel in his podcast? And you guys were like, we got to find the Epstein. Remember that? It was adorable. Seeing you guys pretend you had some morality. Oh, we must look into this. You guys don't give a shit, right? MAGA don't care. If I'd guess, MAGA probably has some similar charges on their fucking sheet. But Donald Trump is here clearly admitting, I'm a fascist, and I regret not being a fascist earlier. That's what this says. Because you don't try to steal elections by taking ballot boxes if you're for democracy. You don't. Sorry. as the Canadians say it. By the way, Canada, Denmark, Greenland, Venezuela, Colombia, Cuba, France, please, somebody, form an alliance and step up and help us stop. I'm inside the belly of the beast, as Che Guevara once said, and I'm doing the best with what I can right now, and I'm speaking up every single weekday. So hit subscribe and notification bell. But this is, a shout out call to all my comrades around the world. Solidarity with you. All power to all people. We need help. We have Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, the Jeffrey Epstein private domestic military force, on the streets. And the vice president says they have immunity, absolute, meaning they cannot be held accountable for anything they do. And these guys are clearly not trained, not well fucking in shape, and not good at their job. And the other thing, I just need to take a moment because, it's been a weekend. The stuff I've seen out in Minneapolis made me so proud to be an American. So proud. What they're doing in the streets of Minnesota and Minneapolis is the most American. I hope the history books remember it forever. I hope the history books remember this. History writers out there, you owe Minneapolis a great debt if we make it through this. Because Minneapolis, listen, I'm from New England, okay? And if you know anything about Concord and Lexington, the Whites of the Rise, XXX, YYY, ZZZ, that whole tale of the revolution, the founding fathers, all that yada, yada, yada. Because no American gives a shit about it now, right? Especially MAGA. They don't give a fuck about the Constitution or the founding fathers. They piss all over them for their PDF friend Trump. But we here in Massachusetts, we are the spark of this country. That's what they call it, right? We sparked the revolution in Massachusetts. We had Crispus Attucks, the first black man to be killed by the King George III on the Boston, not the Commons, I'm sorry. Where was it? Shit, it's right down the road. Anyways, the Boston Massacre. In 1770 something, 1775, I want to think. I feel like I've seen the etching. I've seen the etching. And from there on out, we were hellraisers. Not we as in I was there, but the collective we, the massholes. We were hellraisers. We said, fuck this tyranny, fuck this king. We'll bring them the fight they want. We were in the streets. And I truly believe right now, Minneapolis has not only stepped up, because they've shown they could step up before with George Floyd, but they're taking it to a new level. They're showing they don't get tired, and they don't give up on each other. Like, that is a community I was so in awe of watching. To see the Minnesotans come out in full force and stand together, made me in awe. I was truly in awe. And I want to play this one clip of a 72-year-old couple. 72. 72. Do you hear me? 72 years old. They're almost Trump's age. Almost. They're only a few years young. They're like 8 years younger than Trump. And this couple was out at the protests. And Donald Trump, who, bone spurs the entire length of Vietnam, and then magically Vietnam ended, and we've never heard of the bone spurs again, because he's a lying piece of shit. But this 72-year-old couple was pepper sprayed by law enforcement while protesting. It is your God-gifted right as an American to protest.
Orange of the pepper spray on your jacket, Michelle.
And her hair, too, yeah.
And your
hair. Side of her face.
And your face. Just skip it, Michelle. What happened to you just now?
We came down here to peacefully protest because you can't be silent anymore. We were standing over to the side on the grass and gravel when a truck with flashing lights came through, so we stepped back even more when the law enforcement came out, and so we were far away from the driveway. And when they came out, two of them just started shoving any of us that were standing there away from,
indiscriminately,
and
just pushing into the crowd.
And then started shooting pepper spray. They got the woman next to me really bad. I did not get it as bad. It's stinging on the side, but they really got her.
But they pushed you down.
They pushed.
I had to step in the way between her and the guard. Say she's 70 years old. Come on, she doesn't need to be pushed to the ground.
I love this couple. The husband goes, she's 72. She's 70 years old. She goes, 72. She puts her head down. She goes, 72. You don't be ashamed of that. I am very proud of this couple. They went out. They exercised their First Amendment right to protest, to peacefully assemble. And they got shot with pepper balls for doing nothing. We are living in a tyrannical, authoritarian, fascist regime. It is up to all of us to make this stop. Whatever your role is, informing others of what's going on, showing people that it doesn't matter. If you're a 72-year-old white couple going out to protest and stand in solidarity against the oppression that's happening, you will get pepper sprayed for nothing. They threw. I never, ever want to hear a Republican or a Democrat. Remember, I'm not a Democrat. I'm a socialist. I'm a comrade. I believe that we, the people, should have the wealth. Everybody who goes to work every day and you work for a boss, I believe that boss doesn't need to be there. You should get the fruits of your labor. Oh, is that too extreme for you? Does that scare you, not having a boss around? I'll tell you, the bosses I've worked for, never really saw much. Couldn't tell you what they did. And know when they got fired after trashing a company, they get a huge golden parachute. And I thought, that's weird. I don't know how you fuck a company up and get paid even more. Because it's a big club and you're not in it. But it doesn't matter. Because we got work right now. And whatever your role is, do it. America needs help. Nobody's coming to save us. And if anything, if you're watching the news or reading it, even poorly, you should be able to understand that when a trafficker like this, convicted felon, Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, whatever you want to call him, when the Mick Hitler starts saying, I should have seized the ballot boxes, what he's telling you is there will be no more elections. The midterms don't matter. If he should have seized the other ones, what do you think is going to happen with these? It is up to the people. That's it. We did it once to form the country. Listen, I'm not scared of none of you fucking Nazis. You understand me? I come from a long line of motherfuckers. Antifa motherfuckers. How many of your grandparents served in World War II? Any of them? Any of them? Any? You guys are all proud boys. All you pride boys hiding behind these empty avatars and fucking troll accounts. I ain't scared of none of you. It's my favorite part is seeing all these comments and they can't leave. You just can't leave. You got to watch me. It's a little sus. What, is Joe Rogan not taking an ice bath right now, gentlemen? Is that it? Let me see. You want me to look it up? You want me to see when does Joe Rogan go live in his ice bath so you can get back to, gooning or whatever you do when you watch Joe? It's so funny. So I thank you. I'm not going to read any of your comments, you Hitler pussies. But I will say thank you. Thank you for, Pride Boys, the Pride Boys. We no longer call them the Proud Boys because if you're proud, right, here's just a basic fact. Here's just a fact. And facts don't give a shit about your feelings. If you're proud, you're not hiding your face, You're not going incognito. You're not dressing like fucking Teddy Ruxpin, the fucking the South Will Rise Again version. You know, you're not hiding your face. You can't be called the Proud Boy and hide your face. You just can't. But we will call you the Pride Boys. Bunch of bitches. That's what you are. Oh, I wanted to play this video for you. Liz Oyer. Look at this. This is going to be such a stain on American history. Such a stain. And I understand, you know, Elon Musk exposed the game. There's a lot of these. You see the ones with no face on the avatar, some dumb fucking name. These are foreign actors. That's what a lot of they are. I think it was 64% of people on Twitter, which is now called X because, you know, Elon Musk is unoriginal. He names everything X, SpaceX, Tesla X, Xbots, Extima Prime. You know, like the guy's a moron of the fucking umpteenth degree, and his dad married his stepsister, so he's got a dad-shaped hole in his heart. But it's like 64% of the people on Twitter are bots. They're not people. And he exposed it even more when he did the account location based in, and everybody was like Southeast Asia, Russia, Nigeria. It was like all over the world, and the accounts were like 1 million subs, and it was like MAGA American Trump worshiper. What a fucking sad, pathetic existence. You know, I couldn't imagine if my handle was like, you know, Che Guevara worshiper. Could you guys, would you even watch my live stream if I was just like, guys, Che Guevara was the best. I just love him. You know, and I just read quotes from him. Like, think about what pathetic fucking losers they are. Are you guys here? Oh, yeah. Some of you guys are here. Think about what pathetic losers, when you see them in the chat, read the chat. If you're watching this later, have the chat go by. I want you to go and click on their names and go to their YouTube channels. And you'll see they have like Justin Bieber, you know, music mix. It's so funny when you go and seek these people out and you're like, holy shit, these are like, you know, fucking the fucking utmost losers. And then there's the just troll accounts that are like, you know, started 1 year ago or started, you know, 1 week ago. But then there's the true believers, as we call them, the true believers. They really believe in Donald Trump. And I always think about that. I'm like, man, I couldn't imagine making my whole life, like being such an empty husk of a human that I'm like, I just need to adopt something. And he's like, well, what is it? Oh, it seems like that, you know, that child creeper that was friends with Jeff Epstein. He's got a cool personality. You know, he just shits on everyone and nobody likes him. He probably also smells the same way he treats people. And they just adopted that. Like, it's the most pathetic thing ever. And then these guys wonder, you know, why they're incels. It's like, well, because, dude, you have no personality. You have nothing going on. All you can say is, I defend Trump. And then whatever he said, you just repeat. It's pathetic, man. Here is Liz Oyer, the lawyer. That's not a joke. Link in the description. I know it sounds funny. It made me think of... Remember this, reminder, Homeland Security. If you lay a finger on federal law enforcement agent, you'll face the full extent of the law. Somebody quoted it, and this was, I don't know if you guys remember January 6th, a couple years ago, a few years back. January 6th, all these racist, incel, losers, don't get invited to Christmases or Thanksgivings, all these, you know, fucking hicks. And that's no disrespect to the cool ones, okay? But the ones that brought the Confederate flag into the State House, piece of shit, you know. You guys sad the Confederacy lost? Is that why you go, it will rise again? Is this your attempt at it? We're going to take you down again, okay? We've had it with your shit, and it's time to put you back in your mom's basement, in Russia or wherever you are. I don't give a fuck. But when I found Liz Oyer, the lawyer, I went, is this a 30 Rock bit? Anybody remember 30 Rock? One of my favorite shows. Because they said, it's like the rural juror. Remember when Jenna Maroney did the movie, The Rural Juror? I thought, there's no way a lawyer's name is Liz Oyer. Liz Oyer, the lawyer? But it's true. I'm not kidding you.
If you are struggling to understand what our country stands for at this moment in time, you are not alone. Our elected leaders say one thing one minute and do something totally contradictory the next. I want to share some facts that will help explain why we're all so confused. I'm Liz Oyer, the former pardon attorney for the Department of Justice.
Liz
One
Oyer.
of the most contradictory areas of U.S. policy this past year has been drug trafficking. Check out this timeline. January 20, 2025, Donald Trump signs an executive order declaring drug cartels terrorist organizations and announcing that it is the policy of the United States to ensure their total elimination. January 21st, Donald Trump grants a full pardon to Ross Ulbricht, founder of the Silk Road, an online marketplace that trafficked hundreds of millions of dollars worth of drugs. At least 6 people died from overdoses, including 2 teenagers. March 2025, Trump's health secretary, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., announces that he's eliminating the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Administration, the primary agency responsible for reducing overdose deaths and addiction.
The video is great. I highly recommend Liz Oyer, the lawyer. I absolutely love that name. I love the name. I love she became a lawyer. It was destined. I feel like Liz Oyer, the lawyer, that was destiny, you know? Be like naming your kid Doc. Doc Her, the doctor, you know? It's like Liz Oyer, the lawyer? Liz Oyer? Liz Oyer? Liz Oyer, the lawyer. Anyway, sorry. Watch that video, okay? She outlines the full year of the things Donald Trump says, like, who was it? Life? Listen, I'm so sorry. I forgot my subscriber's name who dropped this comment, but it was one of my favorite comments I've ever had. They were commenting on Donald Trump classifying fentanyl as a WMD. And they commented, so is that why all the pharma CEOs are going to prison for having weapons of mass destruction? So you see, anybody with any critical thinking or common sense or just isn't, you know, a stupid fucking Confederate. That's what we'll call them. A stupid fucking Confederate. You lost the war. You're traitors to America. Shut the fuck up and sit down and be obedient. Okay? Donald. What a dumb fucking name. Oh my God. If I grew up with the name Donald, maybe I'd be as fucking sensitive as he is. Donald. 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 Oh my God. And I thought Howard Taft was a funny name, you know, but Donald. Oh my God. Donald. And there's guys that like simp for Donald. That's the funniest part. You simp for a guy named Donald. A guy named Donald. He's your alpha leader. A guy named Don. Oh my God. It's not even a real man's name. What a skibbity beta cuck. Donald, that's your name? Bro, change your name legally, right? You're president of the USA. Probably not fucking legitly, but change your name. Don. That's who all these simps worship. A guy named Donald. Donald? Oh, I'm sorry. My mind is just wrapped around this right now. I could understand, you know, a Joe Rogan. You know, he seduces you when he gets in the ice bath. So all the little incels are like, oh, I've never seen nipples before. Look at that. You know, and then they fucking freeze frame it, screenshot it, bunch of losers. But Donald? A guy named Donald is your alpha queen? That's weird. Okay, so back to Liz Oyer, the lawyer. She pointed out, which I've done for fucking months now, it's exhausting, but it's good that smarter people than I, because I'm just a bozo on YouTube. Don't listen to me. Who gives a shit, right? I'm just joking around, folks. Look at how many people get so butthurt. Richard. Look at Richard. Oh, Richard, with your little birds. Richard's so mad. He hates when I say tax billionaires, free healthcare, free public education, free transit. He hates that. He wants to pay for all of it. He never wants to own his own home. He wants his kids to grow up hungry. He fucking wants everybody to beg for egg. These people are so dumb. Jesus Christ, America, we need a better education system so this shit doesn't happen again. I'm so sick and tired of seeing these stupid morons in the comments. I'm like, I want to tax billionaires at 100% so you don't have to pay taxes. And they're like, how dare you? This dickhead, I can't believe him. He wants me to have health care and low taxes and be able to afford my life. What a jerk. And then Donald Trump comes out and says some stupid shit like, you know, fentanyl's WMDs. And he's like, hurrah, thank God for the king, Lord, Queen, Queef Trump. You know, like, these guys are pathetic. Get the fuck out of here. Just get the fuck out of here. Stop fucking. You know why God loves Trump, puppy paws? Because you want to make an example out of him in hell when he bends him over the fires of the ninth ring. Okay? Remember, you can't live forever. So Liz Oyer, the lawyer, pointed out that, what's that fucking heroin addict's name? Robert Kennedy Jr. or Bobby's son, right? That absolute degenerate that's disgracing his entire family. RFK Jr. He disassembled many, many things last year, including, like you heard Liz Oyer say, things that help people not die from overdose. These are important programs. And I would like to believe most Americans have had somebody in their life affected by addiction, especially opioid addiction, especially because of the Sackler family of Purdue Pharma, who had no charges, got off scot-free, put their names on everything, you know, philanthropists. But they're the ones that push this opioid crisis on America. And no one, no Democrat, no Republican held them accountable. That's why, again, the socialists need to take over. Okay, the Democrats, the Republicans, and then that little Confederate shit stain maggot. They're just the worst. You know, they're the repulsors. But none of them held anyone to account. The Sacklers got off. The Sacklers were the ones pushing OxyContin, saying it was not addictive, doing the rap videos for their in-house sales team. And absolutely knew they were poisoning our communities. Absolutely knew. What's up, Crush? Good to see you. Hey, good to see you, Crush. Crush, let me say something. There's a lot of maggots in the chat. Just let them be. Just ignore them 100%. But it's good to have you here. I don't want you going crazy having to delete these people. I'm just letting them be, and I was just getting a real kick out of they think their alpha is a guy named Donald. Could you imagine worshiping a guy named Donald? I don't think there's ever been anybody who's looked half fucking decent named Donald since the Duck. I mean, go ahead. You try to shoot off a guy named Donald who's like a heartthrob, you know? They fucking worship a guy named Donald. Oh my God. What a sad, pathetic group of bozos. Oh my God. Oh, that's what I was saying. Isn't that interesting? So if Donald, stupid fucking name, if Donald cared about drugs, Americans, any of that stuff, what would he do? He would bolster rehab programs. He would bolster programs that work for addiction. He would bolster programs that work for overdoses. He would bolster things that, you know, saved people and reintegrated them into communities. That's what addicts and people in recovery need. It's just proven. It's just fucking science, folks. But instead, he's taking people's healthcare and he's dismantling all of the programs, all of the departments that save your brothers, your sisters, your mothers, your fathers, your friends. They're killing you. and they don't give a shit. And they're hoping you're not paying attention. So watch this Liz Oyer, the lawyer video. I linked it in the description. Bunch of dipshits in here today. Ah, there's my crush. That's right. Bunch of them. But just no, crush. Oh, wait, Dusty's here? Oh, wait a minute. Dusty's here. Hold on. All right, Dusty, once you chat again, you should be fucking lit up in blue, buddy. Once you chat again. I'd rather go to Cuba than the fascist states of America. Yeah, well, there we go, Dusty. There it is. Much love to you. You know, Cuba has more doctors per capita than I think anywhere in the world. They have a lung cancer vaccine. Cuba's pretty rad. That's a socialist state that has survived this far with embargoes by the United States cut off from almost all trade throughout the world, and they're still managing. Still managing. It's very impressive. Viva la revolution. Che Guevara. That's a man's name, Che. Roberto Che. Not Donald. Not Donald. If you're going to pick a Skibbity Rizma to follow, not Donald. Sorry. Sorry, losers. And this was George Conway. Remember Kellyanne Conway? Remember that dumb bitch? What is she doing now? Sucking dick in the gutter? I don't know what she's doing now, but her husband was on the news and said this about Donald.
Donald Trump is a man who basically represents all the things we teach our children not to be. He's a liar. He's a thief. He's a molester. He has no remorse, no shame, no empathy. And he has no loyalty to the law, to the Constitution. He lies to people, telling them he's working in their interest. He got elected lying about how he would do something about inflation, and now he tells everybody that affordability is a hoax. I mean, this man is the lowest character of all.
Oh, sorry. I was reading the comments while that was playing. George is good. I like George. He's well-spoken, and he put that in a good way. News troll. Troll's in your name, but if you are really Cubano, my solidarity with you. Personally, I would go to Cuba if I had the cash. Then I'd learn they're complex humans over there, too. Well, that's the thing, man. At the end of the day, this is why I love Anthony Bourdain so much, you know. Because at the end of the day, Anthony Bourdain traveled the world, and he said something like, you know, at the end of one of his episodes, he just talked about the people that he encountered. And he said, at the end of the day, everybody just wants some good food and to hang out, you know, with friends, family, community, whatever. He made it real simple. And that's the truth, you know. Except for the fascists. They can't, and this is, you know, why it's so fascinating to watch these people suck up to them like little leeches. Because when you see people like Donald Trump, Elon Musk, I mean, these people could take a fucking break, you know? Like, if I had Elon Musk money, are you kidding me? I'd be fucking helping homeless people. I'd be helping homeless vets. I'd be making sure every goddamn kid in every community had food in the morning and food at school. Like, and I could do that while I was on vacation because he has almost $1 trillion. You understand me? You could just be fucking solving problems from an island with your phone. But instead, that pathetic little twerp of a worm, because his father, Errol Musk, married his stepsister, he got such a fucking complex and he was probably bullied so much and could just never be confident in who he is. So he always had to pretend to be somebody else. He always had to be the inventor, the founder of Tesla, which he isn't. There's two smart guys that founded the company. He just bought and bullied his way in. Even Peter Thiel, I don't think, likes Elon Musk. And they were like, you know, butt buddies or whatever at the beginning of PayPal or Copay, or who gives a shit? This is all irrelevant. My point is these people have all the resources that they could ever want or need. And instead of enjoying themselves, they seek out ways to make people suffer. And if you find yourself aligning with someone like that, I would just really reevaluate not only why you're doing that, but if you can understand a little about yourself and you can get to the point where you're going, well, maybe I'm doing this because I'm mad at the world, right? You got a little ball of anger in you. Parents weren't nice to you. Fucking parents died like mine did. And you got this rage inside of you and you just want other people to hurt. Well, there's also some healing that you could do. And once you realize that you don't have to be angry, you know, that life is what it is. You don't have to glom onto these people. And once you start to develop yourself, here's the kicker. This is going to trip you out. Once you do a little work on yourself and stop, and work isn't like, oh, I have a Confederate flag and I'm a dickbag to everybody. You know, not like that. I mean, like, once you do some work and you figure out why you're so angry and why you like these PDF files, like why you worship them, it's so weird. You might come to a point within yourself where people start to like you. And as soon as somebody likes you, you ever fall in love? You ever fall in love? Not somebody with you, but you met someone, talked to them, and you were like, oh my God, I think I'm in love. You know, whether it was real or not, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care. The falsity of love, it's okay. Love at first sight is fine. Have you ever had that feeling, right? You cannot act like Elon Musk or Donald Trump if you're in love. I'm sorry. It is physically fucking impossible. When you get them butterflies and you're just feeling love, man, the whole world's right. That's why people sing. Puppy bad vibes. I'm telling Mom you said the R word. Who's Uper Trooper? Hold on, I'm not reading anything. Remember when the maggots were all excited about the free Doge checks? Oh, one-eyed dollar. You mean the $5,000 Doge dividends checks that are never coming because, you know, they worship liars? See, I think Uper Trooper is one of the people I'm talking to because this is hitting him hard. Remember this. Uper Trooper is calling me the R word. Elon Musk thought you couldn't say retard. You can. It's just the context you choose to use it, and the reaction to you using it is going to be you having to take accountability for that. This is the craziest thing to me in the world. Like, it's not illegal, guys. Okay, so stop fucking, you know, treating it like it is. But just know that when you say it, people are going to think differently about you. But this is my whole point, Uper Trooper. I think this triggered you. I think that's your reaction. I'm going to help you have a breakthrough, Uper Trooper. I don't know how old you are, hopefully old enough to be on YouTube. But you must not have many friends, and that's okay. Listen, we've all been there. We've all been there. And your natural reaction to me saying, like, do a little work, you know, why are you so angry? Was, don't listen to this retard. You know, tough guy. Hey, well, it was a tough comment. Oh my God. I might stop doing a live stream with those comments. Holy shit, I'm really affected. Can you pick up on my sarcasm? Okay, good. My mom used to say, no one can tell when you're being sarcastic and when you're being serious, and that really hasn't helped me in life. Because when you try to tell a joke in a big company meeting and you sound like a dick, people take it like you're a dick. And then you just gotta act like it. But I'm okay with that because I'm not insecure. That's the thing. I'm pretty confident in who the fuck I am, you know? And Uper Trooper, that's what I'm trying to get you to do. I'm trying to get you to understand yourself beyond the anger, because right now the anger is triggering every reaction that you have. In fact, that's why you probably love Donald Trump, the PDF file. Notice that he has no lawsuits against anyone calling him a pedophile. Interesting, huh? He is lawsuit happy. This guy will fucking sue or investigate you for farting in the wrong direction. But none for calling Donald Trump a pedophile. Interesting. Wonder why. Maybe because he is. Release the Epstein files, Donald. But back to you, Uper Trooper. I really want to help you through this, because if I can save one life, you know it's worth it for me. Uper, are you still here? Or did I scare you off? Did I get a little too real for Uper Trooper? I think I might have. I think I might have got it. It's okay. You know what? I think Uper Trooper's gone. But the lesson stays the same. Look inside. Look inside, Uper. Super elliptic. I love how this vlog has turned into a therapy session for dickheads. Okay, Crush, I gotta break it down for super elliptic. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I'll just call you Super. Super elliptical. No, elliptic. Oh, so I thought there were two R's. Super elliptic. Sorry, I'm a moron. No, he left. Talk to me then, D-bag. You wish, James. I'm not. Just because he has, I'm gonna ignore you, okay? Back to super elliptic. Super elliptic. I also am YouTube's official vibe coach. So as we have fun and we joke about the news and we do satire and comedy and, you know, we made comedy legal again. I was so excited. You guys remember that? Hold on. You guys remember this? I don't know if you guys remember. They made comedy legal. There was a South African illegal immigrant who came to America, bought an election, and then got to go into the government just for free. Wasn't elected. He just paid $300 million. And then he